Hey, what's up everyone, Mandrake here. Welcome to the in-depth ultimate complete guide for Gunslinger 2022. In today's video, I'll be talking in-depth about the pros and cons of playing the Gunslinger class, skills that you should be using for raiding, engravings, rotations of the skills, and the gear sets between Nightmare and Salvation, and when you should be using which one. By the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of how Gunslinger works and how to maximize her toolset and damage. If you find this video helpful, leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. So let's go ahead and start. Let's talk about some of the pros and cons of playing the Gunslinger class. Gunslinger is a high mobility, consistent DPS class, which means that you won't be seeing super crazy high damage numbers like from a sorcerer or soul fist. However, Gunslinger excels of having high mobility to dodge and reposition herself and having consistent DPS uptime throughout the whole fight. That being said, the longer the fight, the better chance you have of getting that MVP screen. The downside of playing the Gunslinger is that this class is very squishy and many attacks could kill you in a raid, even if you're slightly overgeared. In addition, her core build consists of having Grudge Engraving and Cursed Doll just to make her life a little bit easier, right? Other things to keep in mind is that the Gunslinger has several animation lock skills that takes 3 to 4 hits to do max damage, which results in sometimes having to cancel that skill and lose damage just to be safe. That is why mobility and good positioning is key when playing the Gunslinger. Now that we understand the class a little bit better, let's go ahead and take a look at the current skills that I use and recommend for raiding. Keep in mind that this guide is based on our region, and what we have available right now might be a little bit different from Korea. Let's go ahead and take a look. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the skills that I currently use for raiding. As of now, I have 402 skill points. I'm currently working on getting my, I think it's 8th Itnia token, so I can have 408 and actually made this build pretty optimal. So as of now, what I currently use is Spiral Tracker with Weakness Exposure, Conviction Rune on it. Have Quick Step with Live Absorption, and I take the legendary Rage rune on this one. Dexterous Shot is for mobility and also apply the crit debuff. You actually get 10 seconds from this one instead of the 6 seconds from Spiral Tracker, so it's pretty nice. With excellent mobility as well, just to make it move a little bit farther. I have take Peacemaker. This is your main counter that you'll be using with excellent mobility to add a little bit of more range, and some fights you don't actually need to counter, so you're gonna be using this for mobility only. Bullet Rain, I take Tripod in a tight spot, Rapid Fire, and Flame Shot with Judgment, legendary Judgment rune on this one. Shotgun Rapid Fire, I have 4 points here because I still don't have the 408 points with that in a tight spot. So after I get the 408 points, I'm gonna be adding this to dual buckshot here. So for dual buckshot, I take 1, 2, and 1 tripods in a tight spot, Enhanced Fire, and Final Strike with blue Galewind rune. For Sharpshooter, I take 11 points as of now with Special Bullet in a tight spot, Guardian Breath, and purple Galewind rune on this one. For the sniper skills, I take Catastrophe, Cutthroat, and Carpet Bombing at level 10. And Perfect Shot also at level 10. I take Stable Stance, Kill Confirmation, and Enhanced Shot. Focus Shot, that is one of the most damaging skills that you have, is Quick Aim, Double Tap, Final Strike with legendary Galewind. And target down, I take Quick Aim, Large Magazine, and Steady Aim on 12, number 12 as well, with blue Galewind skill. When it comes to the Awakening skill, Eye of Twilight actually does more damage, but it has a longer animation. So if you're comfortable using that, just go ahead. I usually take high caliber because it's faster, has a longer range, and a shorter animation, even though it does a little bit of less damage. But I don't think the damage is that significant, so I just take this for comfort. So those are the current skills that I use. And when it comes to stats, I take for the Nightmare set, I take 1000, at least 1100 crit, 500 spec, and 400 swift is what I currently have. So those are the skills that I currently use for rating. Let's go ahead and take a look at the engravings that I'm using. All right, so when it comes to the engravings, I currently have Peacemaker level 1, Adrenaline level 2, Coruscant level 3, Keen Blonde level 3, Hitmaster, and Grudge. Now, this was possible because I have Grudge and Keen Blonde legendary books. So I only had to get a Peacemaker accessory with another random engraving like Lightning Fury. So this is the most damaging build as of now in our version of the game. Unless you are a Giga Chat and you manage to get a 9 out of 7 stone. So you can have Peacemaker level 3 and Adrenaline level 1. Now, there is a patch that was recently released in Korea where they buff the Peacemaker engraving, and once that releases to our version, having Peacemaker level 3 and Adrenaline level 1 is gonna be actually more optimal. But you will still need to get that 9 out of 7 stone. So good luck with that, guys. All right, let me go ahead and show you guys now what is the rotation of skills that I use when I'm playing the Nightmare set. I usually try to get adrenaline stacks first when I'm approaching the boss, or like before entering the fight if it's possible. Once I have that and I go into the boss, this is the rotation that I usually do. Now, that's how my rotation usually looks. Let me go ahead and break down on why I do that rotation when I'm playing the Relic Set. As you can see, guys, I have a 3-minute cooldown on my awakening. Let me go ahead and reset everything so I don't have the buff, because you actually have to do this here on Trixion to reset everything, so I can break it down for you guys. All right, so going back to Scarecrow, boss, summon, okay, reset cooldown, everything. So the reason on why I was able to get a 3-minute cooldown instead of a 4, like usually is 4, but the reason on why I was able to obtain the cooldown reduction is because I use Conviction Judgment rune first to proc the effect of the cooldown reduction and then use my awakening. So the reason on why I do that, that opening like that, is to get the cooldown reduction on my awakening and on my focus shot. Since I do activate Conviction rune, I change awakening, get the cooldown, and I also get the cooldown on this skill too. You see, I had 16 seconds cooldown, right, when it's actually like 21. That is why I do that rotation. And the reason on why I do change to my sniper before I do my awakening is because the buff that you get from switching your guns also applies to your awakening skill. So I use Spiral Tracker to add the 10% creep buff and also proc Conviction. Then I use Judgment. I use Bullet Rain to get the Judgment proc. I switched to my sniper rifle so I can have a 10% additional damage and use Awakening so I can activate the enhance magic addiction and magic addiction buff effect from the gear set, and then I use focus shot with the judgment rune still available so I could have a 16-second cooldown instead of 21. After that, you want to use spiral tracker if available, and to use target down, and then switch to your shotguns. Now the reason on why I switched to my shotguns instead of using my other sniper skills is because of the tripods that we added to those skills, right? Catastrophe and Perfect Shot, they both have a tripod on that is additional damage when the boss has 50% less HP. So that means that this tripod here, Cutthroat, and also Kill Confirmation, they will do additional damage, big damage actually, when the boss has less than 50%. So at the beginning of the fight, you want to focus on using your shotguns like Sharpshooter and Dual Buckshot more. So you want to give priority to those kills over Catastrophe and Perfect Shot. So you're going to use these two skills at the beginning of the fight as fillers when you don't have anything else that you want to throw out there. And after the boss is down to 50% HP, then you're going to prioritize Catastrophe and Perfect Shot, and then use your shotgun skills as fillers because you want to maximize your damage as much as you can, right? So like at the beginning of the fight, you're gonna notice that Perfect Shot doesn't do that much damage, but that's why when the boss have like less than 50%, Perfect Shot is gonna be doing close to similar damage as the Focus Shot. Sometimes I get like 21, 28 millions currently on my Perfect Shot after 50% HP. So that's the rotation that I currently use using the Nightmare set. Now when you have Salvation set, you want to use Conviction and Judgment, but instead of using your Awakening right away at the beginning of the fight, you want to save it for later, for once you have all the Salvation stacks, right? All right, let me go ahead and switch here. Going back to Trixin again here. And so, let me see, could I switch in here? Yeah, okay, yeah, I could switch. Okay, so for the Salvation set rotation that I use the same rotation as to get like Judgment, and wow, that was very unlucky. Okay, so I want to get like Conviction, Judgment, and then immediately do Quick Step and to Focus Shot and to target down, going back and then using your shotguns. Remember what we talked about, using shotguns first at the beginning of the fight. Then you want to do this here, get the crit buff, go back and go back here. Now you have all the stacks and the additional 5% damage. Now you can use wait for another rotation and use Conviction rune. Now you don't get the same cooldown reduction on your Awakening, but you do get the cooldown reduction on your other skills. Now the reason why you want to wait until you actually have all of the stacks is because the additional damage that you get in your Awakening, right? If you do it at the beginning, then your Awakening might not do that much damage, so you want to maximize it and actually get the full stacks. Now that we know the rotation of the skills, let's go ahead and take a look at the Nightmare set versus Salvation set. All right, now for Salvation set, the stats that you want to use are, I don't know why she's showing that there, but this is the stats that I currently have on my other like preset for Salvation set. That is, you should have a little bit more crit, but there's not a good necklace that I have been able to find. If there's a necklace out there that has Hitmaster 5 and Adrenaline 3 and you have good quality, please list it and do not list it for over 100k so I can buy it. But the difference between Salvation and Nightmare is that with Salvation set, most likely you're gonna be using this set when you have more skill points, and you can add all the damage and good skills, additional, like get it to 11 or even 12 points. But we don't have that possibility right now. The reason on why you see this build right here that I currently have is for solo content, right? Having more spec like this gives you a lot of damage, and high crit and spec, you get massive damage, right? But the reason on why you use Salvation is because we get that 10% attack speed. So even though we don't have any swiftness, we still manage to get that 10%. Now, when it comes to Nightmare, you do have swiftness and you take 500 spec because you usually doing group content with this set. You have synergy, party synergy, like a bard or even crit or even damage debuff from your party members. So you're not lacking that much damage, and you actually get 10% cooldown, and you get the movement speed and attack speed is similar. Now, when you want to take Salvation, you see I have even the name here when I'm doing solo vaulting, for example. You want to take Salvation because you do additional big damage, and you do not lose attack speed because you get the attack speed buff. Now, you do not have the movement speed buff, but you do have more damage. That's why you usually take this when you're doing carries like solo vaulting, your Argus boss or stuff like that. If you're doing like group content, you want to take Nightmare because you're not going to be lacking that much of damage because of the party synergy, and you get access to that additional 10% cooldown. Now, Salvation will do more damage because it's currently it's just damage, additional damage that you get, right? From the stacks that you get is 20 stacks. But with Nightmare, if you do actually go crit and spec, you will get more damage, more DPS out of the Nightmare set. And the reason is why is because Nightmare is a damage multiplier, and the higher damage that you have, the more DPS that you will do. And it's based also on your weapon quality. The better quality you have in your weapon, the more damage you will get out of Nightmare set. Now, Salvation set is just raw additional damage. It's not a damage multiplier. So that's pretty much how the sets work, and that's how I usually do it. That's why when you're doing content like Vault and Inferno, you usually take Salvation because it's equalized content and the quality of your weapon does not count. So with that being said, I hope I was able to help you guys with this guide. If you have any questions or anything, leave me a comment in the comment section. And if you have any suggestion or anything, let me know. If you find this video helpful, please go ahead and like and subscribe to help the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.